What's happening, everybody? We're back with another episode on In Between the Screens. It's Big Brother Week 2, and we've got the HOH to talk about. It's Brian, Jackson, Alyssa, and Wolfie. And folks, we're just wrapping up the Sunday night episode. We know HOHs, we know noms, and if you watch the live feed, you know more than that. So we will be covering it. We'll let you know when the spoilers come. But Jackson, right off the rip, man, we see Rick Devens come in there for HOH winner. How are we feeling about it?
Big time for America's dad right now. Big time for him.
We're leaning into that.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Ideally, that's not the side of the house that I wanted to win, but I think he's in for chaos.
Alyssa, thoughts on this HOH competition? We're sliding little fidget spinners or something or other down the thing, landing on or just a little ball bearing thing. Maybe
it is kind of like what they look like a little bit. I am excited to see. Well, first off, we've got back-to-back Survivor winners in HOH spot. I think most people would bow out and not go in bold. I think Rick is the only one that has like the gall to really shake up the house with being second HOH. So I'm excited to talk more about what we saw beyond just tonight's episode and really like get into the
juicy week. And Wolfie, man, this was a good one. You passed up on Rick Devens. You took D, but you and I are the owners of the two HOHs so far this season. How was it? Thoughts on Rick Devens winning this week?
Loved it. I kind of there's a part of me that wishes I kind of would have picked him. He's grown on me immensely. So I mean, still happy that I've got D because I think she's in a great spot. But if I would have had the opportunity to go back, I would have probably picked Devens.
It's always a little nerve-wracking for that for that person that, coming off their HOH win, just not being able to defend it, being able to just stand there, hopeless, can't really do anything here. I was happy to see him win. I guess there's just a handful that I was glad they didn't win, if anything, I guess, is the way I saw it.
Is there anyone that you guys think would have been the worst to win this week?
Rome.
Oh.
Jason.
Jackson, that's the side of the house you're going for, right? Is that what you said? You didn't want Devens' side of the house to win?
I don't think I was there for it because I thought it would just be all right, cool. It'll be a recycled of the cast going up. That's why I do appreciate that Devens comes in and doesn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess to get into that, we got noms as well.
We got noms, man, and a very censored version of this noms. Leading up to the noms, though, what we saw on this Sunday night episode, we saw this big powwow, though. Before we get into that, like, weird as hell. It sounds like it was like 4 a.m., and they're going around, like, violently waking people up. What was y'all's thoughts watching this? Like, this is not sly at all. This is stirring the pot, I almost feel like.
Yeah, no, it was very much like it was clocked. It wasn't as sneaky as they thought.
I think this was like, if we can even go back a little bit more to talk about the HOH competition, this seemed like a squirrely 3 a.m. Like, oh my gosh, I'm HOH. I want to get reckless, just like I did in our movie draft posted a couple days ago. Check that out. Too Much Movie Night. Sometimes you just get like a random feeling and you're like, I want to mess things up. I want to be messy and not think about my consequences. And it kind of felt like that's a little bit of what this was. Like, they have the confidence because they have the numbers. But can we go back and talk about this HOH competition? Because what are the chances that no one wants to pair with Rick? He gets to skip the first and second round, right? They pair up. They have to do the shuffleboard thing. They find out, oh, the person you paired with out of everyone, now you guys are going 1v1. So like right off the bat, Mallory and Lyric together, wah, wah. They're very sad when they realize that one of us got to go, and just what are the chances that he's the one no one wants to be with? He gets to advance. And then he's also the person, comes down to he and Haley. And he tries to give it to Haley.
Yes.
Right. He goes into the first row of whatever the cowboy hats are. I'm like, that was a dead giveaway. Did you guys think that was obvious, or was that just you think because we had the behind the scenes that it came off a little bit more that way?
So I definitely knew from the live feeds that he and post conversations he was trying to throw it to her.
Yeah.
And now I think it might be good for him that I don't know
I think
if it
so
was
too.
too obvious for the house, but I think it would be good for him because that was his way of, oh yeah, I don't have to put up Haley this week because I was talking to her or something like that. He can throw it off. He can throw that scent off fairly easily.
Like the respect, or like I'm not going to nominate her because it was down to the two of us. Gotcha.
I think on his throw before that one with Haley, he got it right on that same area, like that first row of cowboy hats. So that was just kind of where he landed it. So that kind of got him out of it, I think.
Yeah, it was kind of like, all right, I'm not fully throwing it, but I'm not being aggressive here. I'm not trying to win it, but I'm not going to come off. Everybody's like, oh shit, Devens was throwing that thing.
Yeah.
Because it worked out pretty well. Just as far as like girl, you overdid it. It was so much simpler. It was laid out for you. But yeah, end of the day, we get Devens as the winner, and ultimately, I think that's what's probably going to work best, obviously, for the week. I don't know a whole lot of strategy coming out of Haley, so I don't know what the hell she would have done. I don't know how this HOH would have gone. So I think this is a little bit more contained and strategic is what we're going to get out of this week with Devens.
I think she could have been more easily manipulated by just others, the crew that she's kind of tagging with. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm still not. I don't know. The red corner is a weird
Combo.
The alliance. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm liking out of that section of the house right now.
I don't know if it's as strong as some of the people think that it is that are in it.
Maybe that's what it is.
Because it's already loose. Like Drew knows everything. Drew's not in it and knows everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've already merged them kind of together by bringing in Barrett and bringing the crossovers, right? Is what the other one's called. By bringing all of them together, they've just created this large unit at this point, and so then it's just going to be who are they going to start picking off from their own alliance.
Some might say a lot of tools in the tool shed.
God, that was terrible.
Yeah, missed opportunity for a good name.
So
I
bad.
didn't. Yeah, that was silly.
The name.
Where it was a little bit of a stretch there, Drew. We'll get it there. We'll get there. We got to spend a little bit more time in the house to figure it out. But let's talk about these noms before we get to the live feeds and the drama that has happened just over 2.5 days since our last episode. But let's get to these noms because as we have those little powwows going on that night, just before that we had Rome telling Devens, he's like, "Look, honestly, I'd love for you to protect these, 6 people, himself." Also in that group was Jason and Lyric. He also names who was it? It was Lala. See, there was
Lala and Melody. He was fine with him going up. He just wanted those 3 protected.
That's right. He's like, yeah, but if you absolutely have to, just protect, me, Jason, and Lyric. And what does that sick bastard do? America's dad comes in here, hands out the punishment, puts up Lyric and Jason, puts up Melody as well. Again, essentially the entire alliance, leaving Rome there and saying, motherfucker, if these people do not, if they don't win, or if, somebody else doesn't win and hold noms the same, you're going up there as the back door. Like, that has to just be absolutely screaming right in Rome's face. And that's kind of where the transition goes as the episode ends. We get to see Rome and Jason begin the yelling match. Wolfie, come on. I know the blood was pumping. The excitement was hitting. It
was. I got to say, this is usually these first, I don't know, however many weeks where it's just a majority. We're going to do a 14-0 vote. We're going to do a 13-0 vote. We're putting these people up just because we haven't played much game with them. And I'm so excited to finally have somebody that's like, no, I want chaos. I want the smoke. Give it to me. Let's get this game going. Like, this is what I've been waiting for, because it becomes such a bore in some of these seasons where you're like, we got to get to like jury before we actually start like getting these big moves happening. So for me, I was like, I love it.
Jackson, you've got 2 of your fantasy teammates on the board right now. Melody and Jason, how are you looking at this? Wolfie had 2 last week, and he came out of it scotch-free. So, like, I mean, how's the confidence level?
You know, I feel like I'm sitting pretty well. I think the thing I'm most scared of is probably losing Jason, because if there's things that can go, there is still the next week's or the Wednesday's episode for the POV will come out. Are we discussing up to there?
Yeah, I think we can let the people know that, like, folks, we know up until we know the nom at this point. We know who won the vetoes. We know who the final noms are. So if you don't want to know, cover your ears, fast forward, hit pause. But go ahead and spill it, Jack. Open it up.
So Rick Devens goes ahead and wins the POV. So these noms are going to change. It will be someone coming down and Rome going up. Now he has the Battle of the Block to come off. And in that situation, it's going to be interesting, but we also don't know who he's pulling off.
I would almost I feel like after Jason's reaction, there's no way he's coming off.
I don't think Angela will let it happen.
Yeah. Oh, Angela. She is. Go for it.
I'm so excited for Wednesday's episode to see Angela doubling down in her egg costume and just throwing stuff at the wall in her egg costume. Oh, it's going to be great.
They gave us a little tease when she calls Jason a bitch, and we're like, whoa.
So, messy bitch.
That scene, I think, it's 5 minutes long of just straight yelling at the table back and forth. If you haven't seen it, get on Twitter. You can find it, or on TikTok. But the back and forth, the yelling, do you think that incident alone is going to shake up alliances and shake up the house?
I think it'll harden a lot of the alliances, the core parts of the alliances. Just like, all right, these are these are starting to become my ride or dies. I got to lock in with some of this because lines are being the lines of division are being made. We mentioned the egg costume, also America's vote. We did see that go to Angela. She, of course, lost, hence why she's stuck in the egg costume. But I want to bring up Jason's meltdown, too, as we're talking about his meltdown here at the noms. Dude was just... Alyssa thought it was fake at first because it looked like he went and drag makeup up to, put on the dramatics of how bad he was crying like a little bitch.
The sobbing was a lot.
And now I'm like, you're like the boy who cried wolf. I don't know what to believe with him.
Mm-hmm.
And on a human level, there's rough moments in the house for everyone, right? And I think we kind of see that amongst the season, just everyone has their moment, but it's hard to be empathetic for him when you're like, okay, I don't know if this is real or if it's part of your gameplay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%.
Can we talk about this little showmance that is going on?
Which one?
Because like you said, well, let's talk about the Lyme disease in the home first. Because
talking Lyric and Rome, huh?
Rome got targeted, and it sounded like his little threat to Devens when they had their one-on-one, that kind of pushed all of this into play. But he and Lyric have kind of a private conversation about let's take a step back from each other. Let's not be so lovey-dovey, even though they've already dropped I love you. Let's try to pull it back and make the house think something is not going on with us anymore. Right. And immediately she jumps in to flirting with all the guys. That did not equate to go start playing around like that. Right. Or I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on that situation? Because if you didn't know that background convo, not looking good, Lyric.
Yeah, her Rome what comment? Or Rome who?
Yeah, and almost right after that conversation, going into the bathroom and just staring at Kamu showering.
Weird.
She's thirsty.
She has said that back home she dates Hawaiian men, and he is Hawaiian man.
What about Chuck? And what about Yash?
Oh,
they were all
I saw that.
had a moment
She
with her.
was cuddling up with Chuck, and then
Mhm.
she had her
Chuck's
hands
like,
on
where do
both
I
of their
put my
knees.
hands?
Yeah,
But
She's planting
I-
seeds.
I think it's a good thing for her because people are looking at her that like she hasn't gamed very much. And then now she's like, her and Rome have this like, okay, yeah, no, it's time to break away. And she's doing it. She has these people on her side.
And she might be doing it at just the perfect time too, as all of this is building. Like Rome may not be on the block, but he is public enemy number one, is what it's coming out to become right now. And Lyric might be the one that ends up getting pulled off of the block to be who Rome replaces. And then Lyric has a great position to just float in this game for the next 4 to 6 weeks, just based on like the only reason people didn't like her is because she was hooked next to Rome. You know, she was in a showman's. She can just kind of flirt away for a bit.
We also have crazy potential that she does come off Rome, Battle of the Block champ, comes back HOH. Who's she flirting with then? What's
Whoever's
the
got the
girl
most
gonna
power.
See, and I don't like that gameplay, girl. Come
Yeah.
on.
Nancy.
Don't be so dependent on other
Bring it on.
people.
Bring it on though.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I do not want that to happen like in the game for those people, but that would be badass if that happens. She comes down, he goes up, he wins a blockbuster, and then comes around HOH. Like that would wreck the home. D,
Mhm.
Devens, Angela going straight up, I would guess.
Well, and then we're
yeah.
seeing either Melody or Jason go home at that point. If that happens, which I think Jason would probably take the
I
L.
don't. You think? I kind of think Melody would go.
I don't think Jason would be able to emotionally contain himself, and I think he would have himself an Ashley moment, as Ashley did last, and just stick his freaking foot in his mouth, you know?
Oh, I think it'd be worse. Ashley
Then
just
he'd
like
be the bigger target. I feel like he'd be
Which
easier to put up in the later weeks.
Last minute pivot, I don't hate that idea either.
And
But-
because where does Melody really kind of fall in this house right now?
well, I'm
She
glad
doesn't
you
know.
asked that because she and Drew are kind of hitting it off. Like not quite showmance, but Drew's interested. And honestly, that would be brilliant. Like the way that Blue paired up with I don't even remember his
Little
name.
Suri.
Suri's son. Yeah. Suri
Mhm.
Jr. Like the way that she just was like, okay, we can trust each other. Like, let's just kind of be low key and not have to be big in all the alliances. That's not a bad move for Melody right now. Like, find one person by the end of the week that you feel like you can trust. Because if she doesn't, I feel like her wishy-washy, like jumping ship from Mallory and not looking loyal, that's going to follow her. Like she has to lock down and show that that's not who she is.
And yet we see the three of them kind of teaming up there as they're like scrambling post HOH. Like the three of them are just standing there together. I'm like, Melody, you got a little ass kissing to do there for what you do to your girl. Like she may not be your actual girl, but like y'all are still rolling together. Yeah, Mallory, she did her dirty.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got the one showmance with Lyric and Rome, and then we've got that. What did y'all say? Drew and Melody is a potential.
They're
And
they're
then-
checking each
I
other
think
out.
it's warming up.
There's
We've got
another one
the
that's damn near
D
there.
and Barrett.
Darrett.
Yeah.
That
Darrett,
one,
I don't like
didn't
that.
see that coming
Barrett?
at all.
What about B? Yeah.
There's not much to work with there, unfortunately.
I like Lime better than both of those.
I did, yeah.
But it's turning into Lyme disease though, so
Do you think that
God, no.
like D and Barrett, okay, a showmance can come off so many types of ways, right? Like Lime, Lyric and Rome, they seem like they're a package deal because just right from the get-go they're with each other. If D and Barrett go into a showmance, do you think that's going to ruin their individual gameplay, or would it be more like strong allies like Vince and Morgan last year?
how much do they feel in each other? I think that's the big thing. Like, are they popping "I love yous" and bumping
I don't
uglies
think
up
B
in
is
the thing.
stupid.
I don't think they are either. But like, I didn't think we'd see "Here I Love You" after less than a week, and then bumping uglies on night 2. So this ain't Love Island.
mm,
I will say, Dean Barrett, some like leg touching, leg caressing's going on. That's heating up.
that is. That seems like a little power couple coming.
It'll be interesting, but I think also with that dynamic, Mallory knows that she's lost Barrett. Like it's already come out that Barrett was up in that room, that they wouldn't let Rome in.
Oh,
He was locked out. He was locked out of heaven.
So awkward.
And it was so bad. And so Mallory knows that. Mallory knows that she doesn't have that nerd bond with Barrett that she thought she would. But she could still play it. She can play into that, because now I think she's playing him more than he's playing her.
I can't get a full read on Barrett. Sometimes I feel like he's playing well, and sometimes I think he's just kind of hanging out, and he's there.
I think that's part of his game.
That might be the best play for these first couple weeks.
I don't disagree, but I want a better grasp of like, bitch, you gonna hold on to this, or you gonna screw up? Barrett, I need you to lock in.
Ashley, right? That's what Ashley did last year. I mean, she was kind of just clinged on to that group and didn't really do much other than provide a vote.
Ashley was a product of everything else around her fell apart, I think.
But I'll say right now for Barrett, he's done the part where we're now second week in, and has been pulled into now the biggest side of the biggest alliance that they have right now, that he's going to be on the right side of this vote this week, because he's been got pulled in through his connections that he had. He didn't get his hands too messy in creating alliances early and being a part of everything, making too many commitments. I don't mind the spot that he's in right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's in a good spot. Like he's not being seen as a threat. He's not a target, but he's got a good social game. He's in with the right people. Yeah.
I can fuck with that. I can get behind that.
I don't want his number one to be D, though. I think if he does that, he might lose it. The best would be to play with that, secure in someone else. It's going to be interesting to see if he does, or who would.
Yeah.
He and Drew, from what I've seen on live feeds and social posts, he and Drew are pretty close in the house. So that could be a good one long term.
I mean, hell, we can get into Drew. Drew is also very well insulated right now. He's got a good relationship with Kamu. Has been pulled in and has been given knowledge about damn near every alliance that's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good as far as like how he came in. The initial response we got from him, episode 1, some of the people, like, him rubbing people the wrong way, like just as he walked in the door. Drew's cleaning up right now.
Whose team is he on?
I believe it's Jackson's.
No, I don't have him.
No, Alyssa, you have him.
Okay, I thought so, but I was just checking before I was about to start talking some smack.
We went through the whole board.
Yeah, folks, if you missed our draft episode last week, go back and check that out. We drafted our 16 players on our Big Brother fantasy team. Just to recap that real quick. Wolfie over there, he's got D, Rome, Taylor, and Yash. Alyssa has Mallory, Drew, Haley, and Angela. Jackson over there with 2 Chuck, 1 Tuck. He's got Chuck, Kamu, Melody, and Jason. And I have Rick, Barrett, Lala, and Lyric.
I forgot I had Rome. I wish I would have took Lyric.
That was, I love that it looks like the last pick that didn't get picked that fell onto a team might actually be one of the best picks of the game. Yeah, like Ashley last year. How did we not pick the winner last? That's what I mean. Like, she was a product of dipshit and Morgan.
Showergate already happened. Did Showergate already happen?
Yeah.
In this house?
No. Last season.
That was Ashley last season. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like week 1.
Yeah. But after that, she worked her well. Slid on by. It was great. God, it's crazy. All right, what else? What else do we have here out of this episode, or just any of the lives? They got raunchy.
So what I saw was the morning after the 3 a.m. meeting and whatnot. Rome ended up talking to pretty much every single person that was in that room, and his whole thing was about being disrespected. He was like, I know that you guys could hear me, like, and he would just go on and on about the disrespect, and he just kept hounding it to everybody that he talked to. And that the conversation with Devens was really good too, because he was
what?
I'm like, oh,
Tell me,
wait, were you thinking?
Tell us, you're leaving me on pins and needles here, buddy.
Yeah,
my entire thing just froze.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was saying. He just kept apologizing and saying, like, I'm sorry, like, yeah, we messed up, we could have let you in, we could have yada yada yada. But then it got to the part where it got real awkward between them when Rome put the pressure on Devens, saying, like, if you come after our side of the house. And then Devens was like, it's about to get dicey, like, I'm just going to tell you that there's going to kind of be a line in the sand that comes from today. So that was a real fun conversation to watch live.
That's awesome.
Also, the conversation that Haley and Rome kind of got into, and kind of the dips and jabs, and then it kind of goes into him calling her a bitch, and just
was that right after Noms, like at the table?
Yeah. So there was.
Yeah,
so
he said, like, don't
bit,
make a bitchy comment or like something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking post Noms now?
Yeah. Post Noms, throw it at us.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Lots. I mean, Lala's tears when she found out that Rome threw her under the bus, and she just loses it, and she's just crying. Taylor's trying to console her, and Jason.
That might be the best part of the scene, is like the chaos happening, and then Lala is crying into Angela in her egg costume. Like, it's amazing.
So bad.
Just nonstop in the background. I'm trying to listen to something else, see what's going on. You could just still hear it
like,
go.
Shut up.
That was the worst part. Alyssa, was it Friday night? Alyssa was trying to show me what was going on. I'm like, I can't focus here. Like, there are
I had the multi-view, and it was just a lot of yelling that was happening. But we'll carry on. What else was happening there?
Jason erupts. I don't remember what he says, but there's something like, you awoke the beast or something like that, like y'all are going to see this week. He has a big kind of a lot of outrage. And then that's all I can remember off the top of my head. Should have gone back and watched it before this, but it definitely had my jaw on the floor because it was a lot.
I hope they show all of that on Wednesday, just for the viewers. Like,
I need to.
How they can't. That was some good stuff.
I think there was so much lore dropped in that like to set up the rest of the season, you have to show it.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah. If you miss that, you're going to feel so lost. Like there's already so many things that don't make the episodes that even if you just watch the highlights from what is happening on the lives, you have such a better insight to these relationships.
And folks, if you do want to keep up with a lot more of that and can't wait for the next episode, you don't want to wait till Wednesday, go check us out over on Twitter, Too Much Reality TEA. We're reposting all the good, juicy stuff, all the fun stuff, all of our thoughts as we drop them there, as well as give us a like and subscribe on this video. Jackson, what else you got on this? I saw you itching. You got something for me?
Oh, the Angela and the egg. I'm so glad that they brought it back. Like, it's just, it's one of those things that, like, what a banger punishment that they could bring back.
7 days.
That's a lot.
It's 7 days.
Yeah, that's
and we get to watch a paranoid egg. Like, it's gonna be
she's gonna throw a bitch fit in an egg costume.
I honestly think it's like great though, because she can just turtle. Like when she's frustrated, she can just like, excuse me, and pull the lid down and put herself in, scream, cry, do whatever she needs to do. Like last episode, where like the diary room is the only place you can have a meltdown. Angela, girl, you have a whole egg to yourself to melt down in.
Well, it's funny you say that because there's a clip. I almost sent it to you, but I will send it to y'all. She's in the backyard and she turtles, and she's just in the middle of the backyard, and she's like laying down, and she just recedes into the egg, and you just see her eyes poking out of the neck of it, and she's just like, it's her own little cocoon. So I was cracking up at that.
That's awesome.
I will say
hope a
that does
meme
lead me into
comes from
something
that.
else. Like with her getting that first time traveler thing, that it's going to be the three icons first.
You think?
I wouldn't be
think
surprised
Jason's going
if
to get the
Deer.
swing back after this. That he's not going to get the sympathy after the waterworks and calling on the RuPaul fans. That he's not going to get a big push with this one.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
And it
I
might
think
break
it'll be-
him if he
I don't
doesn't
think-
get it 2 times in a row.
I don't think there's a way Devens doesn't get it coming up.
I think there's a chance that Rome could get it. Maybe even Melody, just depending on how this kind, like just a little sympathy goes to the other side of the house. If the icons do steamroll a bit, because I can see like I'm gonna get tired of the icons too if they don't quit getting all of the good luck is rolling their direction right now, so to speak. So like that's gonna get annoying. So I can see where America might try to flip the power a bit, but outside of that, I agree with you, Jack. I think Rick is set up really well to get that again, just to have a hell of a week.
They also don't show Rome being a douchey enough on the episodes where I think he's still in pretty good favor.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they
100%
had
agree.
it with Riley last year, just in a
Yep.
different way. Riley, horrible. Every live feeder knew it. He, for whatever reason, production was not giving him that edit.
Mm-hmm.
So are we going full live feed spoilers? Are we good with that here?
Yep, folks, we're going to finish off the episode with live feed spoilers. So, yes, throw them out there. We'll see what you got.
So Rome breaks down. Like he has a full on like cry. Yeah.
Oh no.
And he's surrounded by Lyric and kind of Mallory, I think, and all of them. And he's in tears in that room where like they have all the lockers and that kind of sofa bench thing. I don't know what exactly because it was all muffled, but yeah, he somehow broke down. So maybe
that's
to see
good.
if they put that in there to show that he's got that
Build
other
that
side.
sympathy. Yeah.
Mhm.
They're picking on me.
I mean, he should feel bad. Like he messed up a lot of people's game by saying that. And so like, good, you should feel bad. Maybe think about what you've done, have a little meltdown, but then get yourself back together. Because sometimes I really think when people try to just hold it together and pretend it doesn't bother them, like you're going to pop off on accident when you least expect it. Like have a controlled meltdown. Be like, today is when it's happening right now with these girls in the hot tub time machine couch, right? Like have a little moment.
Yeah, he needs to be humbled sooner than later because if this happens later on in the game, I don't think he could come back from it. I do think that there's a chance, unfortunately. Like I'm not rooting for him. Don't get that twisted up, but I do think there's a way he could bounce back and make it farther in this game.
I will say that now that you guys have said if Rome was to get that, I could definitely see him getting the America's vote this week when it's like the back's up against backed in the corner. Like he ends up getting the good power and has it for this week or something like that. I could 100% see that happening now.
Because, I mean, who honestly, is there anybody else that's going to lose one of the America Vote competitions other than Angela? Like, of course she freaking lost it.
Yeah. And she like, that was not a good loss. Like that hurt to watch.
Who's the hot dog actress, Alyssa? I want a hot dog
Oh.
real bad. What's her name?
Oh my gosh, why am I blanking?
What is her name?
Right
From Legally
now.
Blonde and she was in White Lotus.
Oh my gosh, I know who
Y'all
she
know who I'm
is.
talking about, right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. What is her name?
Coolidge, Jennifer Coolidge.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Mm-hmm.
Angela gives me Jennifer Coolidge vibes.
Yeah.
Hot dog.
Like a real life person.
That was good.
I've been practicing all week, actually. I don't know why. It's just been the verbal stem.
Oh my god. Yeah, she seems like the non-Hollywood version of, like the non-fake. Yeah, yeah. You get what I'm saying.
The Midwestern
Vibes.
mom.
Sure. There you go. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Oh god. What else do we have from this? Anything else before we shut it down for the night?
Let's just do a little quick update on Kalshi. And for those of you that are not familiar, Kalshi is a prediction market. So it's interesting because it's different than putting in like a bet. Like that, if you think that D is going to win, you don't just go in and place your bet for however much amount looking for a certain payout. This is a live market. And so it is interesting to come in after each episode and see like what has moved. So if we're looking at the winner, D is still favored in first place, but not by much. Drew is actually hopping on up to second place. Do you want me to share screen this, Brian? Or
If you want.
There we go.
Look at that.
Perfect.
Yeah, top three predictions for winners right now. D, Drew, and Barrett. Kamu, what's Kamu doing up here in the top four?
Wow. That unexpected.
Wow.
Playing a good game right now. I will say whoever is running Drew's social media is doing a amazing job.
Fantastic.
It is
That Minecraft edit.
so good.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was good.
He had a Among Us edit the other day. That was really good too.
Nice.
Wow. Rome's down here dead last. Worst odds to come in and win right now.
Yikes.
See, that's something I could float a few bucks on. Maybe he doesn't necessarily win, but I think his position could drastically change if he gets through this week.
But okay, so right now where's he at? He's at 2%. So you're paying 2 cents for him. If you think that he's really going to go far, then right now would be a good time to buy in and get as much as you feel comfortable, because chances are if he goes further, that's going to go up. I'm not good at math, but I wish that I could see like when we get down to top 10, what are these stats going to look like? Like what is going to be the gap in between everyone? Do we think they're going to stay close? These are all rhetorical, of course, but
Kind of surprised Rick Devens isn't a little bit higher, just especially the week he's having, but that also does cause for stir. Like, okay, yeah, I'd probably bet on him finishing second or third more than I'd bet on him finishing first. Any long shot odds you guys are looking at as far as a winner?
It's interesting that Mallory's above Rick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rick's dropped though.
I guess the same odd. I mean, they're looking at the same payout.
Yeah.
Which,
17
okay, if we're
share.
going off of this as a live market, maybe all of the ruckus that Rick has caused this past week, that's why his value is dropping, because maybe people feel like he's causing too much commotion.
Buy low.
I feel like he's coming out of this. The week still needs to end, but I feel like as of right now, he's coming out of this hands pretty clean. I mean, being able to kind of direct this kind of at other people, having Angela basically stepping up and saying like, "Yep, I wanted this too," and he's Jason having a blow up. Like he's able to like. I don't think he's getting a lot of blowback on this.
I'd agree. I think it could have been way messier than what he's looking at right now.
So then
he said he wanted all the smoke, and then Angela, because Jason went for the fist bump and was like, "Oh, hey, this is like basically Angela's HOH." And really, it was Angela who planted the seed, and so that could be something that Devens uses weeks later. But yeah, he definitely can kind of pawn this off on her.
Right? Yeah, Angela, chick's a wild card. She's great for the show, but she's a bit of a wild card. Alrighty. We don't know who. We know who won POV. We don't know anything past that. Correct.
Down. Correct.
Okay. All right, then let's get predictions before we get out of here tonight. Jackson, who comes down, if anyone, and who goes up?
Melody comes down, Rome goes up.
Alyssa, same question.
same answer.
Wolfie, in 1998, the quarterback that won the Super Bowl threw how many touchdowns? Go.
4.
Just kidding. Same question as the other two.
Lyric comes down. She separates herself completely from Rome. She vows to tries to get herself taken off. Rome goes up in her place.
I'm going to go with that one. I liked that one.
I didn't want that one because then one of my people is definitely getting it.
Selfish. That's what we get here. That's what we get here on In Between the Screens. Folks, we can't thank you enough for coming to hang out with us. Like and subscribe. Hit it down there, the button. We've got so much reality for the next 3 months. And folks, trailers already popping out. Traders, Survivor, all the fun stuff, all fall. We'll see y'all next time. Too much reality if you're looking for more on the Twitter. All y'all missed.
We were at least on